Aujourd'hui, nous avons d'un côté un film, de l'autre un cerveau atteint d'Alzheimer, des images animées et une maladie cognitive. C'est quoi le rapport? Voici Pia Tika. Elle est réalisatrice et chercheuse en neurologie. Elle est à la tête du laboratoire de recherche Enactive Virtuality Lab à l'université de Tallinn en Estonie. Avant ça, elle a longtemps travaillé au centre d'imagerie médicale avancée de l'université d'Helsinki. Pia, que faisiez-vous là-bas?
For 10 years, we worked on neurocinematics. It's a paradigm of naturalistic neurosciences, where we use movies to understand how brain works. So people watch movies in the fMRI scanner, and then we watch their brains.
Traditionnellement, les études sur le cerveau passent plutôt par des exercices abstraits et des stimulations sonores courtes et monotones, comme par exemple...
Beep, 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 beep.
En quoi vos expériences sont-elles différentes?
Naturalistic neuroscience is kind of a new paradigm of neurosciences. So it refers to the fact that we don't interfere with the viewing experience, for example. People don't have any tasks. And we are using long durational stimuli, like movies or narratives or even music.
Vous voulez dire que vous glissez des gens dans des gros tuyaux pour regarder des films?
Yes, and they love it.
Ah bon?
Yes. Or depends on the movie. I have had people falling asleep.
Même pendant le film Memento?
Not during Memento, but during an experimental, silent, black and white film where there's no plot.
Pia et son équipe ont fait parler d'eux en utilisant Memento dans leur dernière expérience. Le film de Christopher Nolan est connu pour sa double narration parallèle et inversée. Les scènes en noir et blanc se suivent dans l'ordre chronologique et sont entrecoupées de scènes en couleur qui, elles, remontent dans le temps. Pia, quel était l'objectif de cette expérience?
Memento study builds on our interest to study how narrative construction works and how cute events actually affect the flow of the narrative and how narrative comprehension takes place in human brain.
Et pourquoi précisément Memento?
In the structure of Memento, there are moments where a particular image, which we call cue frame, repeats a second time. And when it repeats a second time, we call this keyframe.
En tout, 15 scènes se répètent ainsi dans le film. Comment est-ce que notre cerveau réagit à cela?
We could assume that once this image appears a second time, each viewer must do some kind of reconstruction of the narrative based on the previously seen. And I realized that within these moments, if we show this film to many subjects, we can compare then all different subjects' brain functions during these particular time points and see if there's any intersubject correlation between them.
Et alors, qu'est-ce qui se passe dans le cerveau?
We find out that there is a kind of interesting kind of neural fingerprint pattern which we can connect to narrative reconstruction. It's kind of a cute memorizing. It very much concentrates on the frontal part of the brain that are related to kind of autobiographic memory and higher cognitive functions.
Les fonctions cérébrales supérieures sont situées à peu près ici. Elles nous permettent de penser, de planifier et d'organiser, mais aussi d'avoir un sens moral et d'interagir en société. Comment faites-vous pour récupérer toutes ces informations, Pia?
You are pushed into the tube, your head is put into a particular kind of coil where we have a magnetic resonance scanning that basically scans all your brain activation each 1 to 2 seconds. So we create slices of the brain.
On a le droit de manger du popcorn pendant le film?
No, it's quite dangerous to eat anything when you're laying on your back.
Bon. Revenons-en aux données.
The film is 105 minutes long, so there's a huge amount of data from almost 30 people. And then we throw all this data into the same hat, and then we shake the hat, and we throw the hat a million times to the table, and some patterns emerge. Then those patterns that we can report.
Ah d'accord, ça a l'air fastoche. Et ces schémas ont révélé quelque chose?
They basically are kind of a part of this kind of process where you try to make sense of your situation based on what you've learned in your previous life, and then to anticipate how that may affect to your future.
Dans Memento, le protagoniste a perdu cette capacité. Est-ce qu'on peut dire que le film reflète ce qui se passe quand on a une maladie cognitive?
I think that you can say so. The film simulates or tries to show us as viewers how such a person kind of behaves and what kind of situation such a person is.
Grâce à votre étude, pourra-t-on mieux comprendre les maladies cognitives, comme la maladie d'Alzheimer?
So I think these fingerprint patterns that we found are quite elementary part of the human cognition. You make sense of the everyday life, moment by moment, based on previous events. And then sometimes these, especially in dementia and for Alzheimer's disease, these kind of processes are disturbed because you don't have clear memory of the past events. You start imagining things in trying to make sense of your world, and you construct your current situation and understanding where you are and who you are, not so much based on your factual memory, but imagined memory.
Vous aussi alors, Piatika, vous êtes le fruit d'une construction narrative?
Yes, it is.